Now then, let's have a look-see at the truly interesting stuff. Europe. Okay, this is gonna work. Oh, there we go. It's a bit buggy. What do we want to start with? What did they change on the Kitakami? Not much. They changed. Made it narrower, the torpedo spread, and I think they gave it a speed boost, right? I don't think they did much else to it. Ship still looks exactly the same. Still squishy as... Wait, is this new? Is this old or new? This thing here is sticking out. Was it always there? I think this is new. I haven't seen this before. Is it? It's for the torps? Makes sense. The old model had it. Okay, fair enough. Such an Ebola ship, man. All you have to say. Such an Ebola ship. But yeah, nope. They give it a bit of dispersion. The port is a bit bugged for me, chat, because we're using the hacker mans to get access to these things. This U4501. That's the one that does 36 underwater, but nothing really special about it. Concord. This is just the Lexington, right? This is just the Lexington with the... Can you look at the equipment on it? How do you look at the equipment on this one? Oh god, this is so buggy right now. It's not normally this buggy, but I think getting it because they have multiple events. I can research purchase it. Sure. That's the way we get access to it, I guess. Never mind. We cannot. No, it's just gonna be Chicago and Lexington. Now, let's start looking at the rest of them. Is Thunder. What was Scarlet Thunder? A ship that sounds like a porn star. Preview ship. So this was... What was this? This was the weird... Scarlet Thunder was the Duncan clone, but it had a standard bow, I think. So it's a Duncan clone, but instead of having the overmatchable nose, this thing gets full 32. Full 32. Did they touch the Citadel? No, Citadel is still gigantic. Citadel is still gigantic on this thing. Okay, I want to switch port. This port is very disorienting because there's no landmarks to... We're gonna still haven't changed that name? No, it's still Scarlet Thunder. We'll see how it plays. Tier 9 with, what was it? Basically just a straight up Duncan clone. The only thing they did was buff the armor. We always do fjords because fjords. Oh wait, do we have all the fjords back? Do we have OG for fjords back, chat? Let's check. Let's see. Somme. List? Wow. Holy shit. Wait, what was the gimmick with this thing, chat? What the hell is this thing? We got old fjords back, by the way. Old fjords is best. List we forget. Okay, I'm kind of digging the armor scheme. I'm digging the whole World War I color scheme on this thing. But... is this like a Jutland? Isn't this just like straight up? Lest that we forget. This is like a Jutland, isn't it? Is this just more of a unique camo for the Jutland or what? I mean, I actually love this camo. I think it looks really good. The name's Somme, and it looks very World War One. It's. No, this looks. I really love the look of this. I love the art department nailed it again. This thing looks really good. But I mean, ultimately, it's just basically a Jutland, as far as I understood. Yeah. Now, what else do we have? We have Karl Johan. Karl Johan. Did you know there's a mushroom called the Karl Johan? Karl XIV Johan. So this was the Tier 9 European battleship that they put Holland torpedoes on. This thing launches 86 knot torps. It's like this weird Zetan Heinrich hybrid thing. Like, this looks very Zetan. And this thing has 8 basically Holland torpedoes per side. And they do 86 knot torps per side. They're fairly somewhat protected. They're open air though, so they might break. Interesting looking turrets. 12 guns as well, plus secondaries, plus the torps. Huh. We'll see what kind of monster this is. Kind of depends on what kind of armor do we have here. Is it Odin guns? Rupretal Odin guns. Matt, I remember when torps on BB was something special. Right, nowadays it's like a standard. They've kind of lost the grip on that power creep as well. Like, if a new BB comes out and it doesn't have planes or torps, is it even a BB in World of Warships? Whoa! Okay. Whoa. Okay, that looks like a lot of armor. Let's see. 35! 35. Wow, so it's just enough to bounce everything except super ship. Wait, aren't like... Wait, what do you need? What do you need for 35? What do you need for 35? What was it? 14.3? 500. Which ships have over 500? Incomp was what? 510? Shiki is Shiki 5. What was Shiki Satsuma Incomp? The Hanover has 483s. So Incomp, Shiki, and Satsuma can all overmatch it. Everyone else is gonna bounce on this thing. This is overmatchable by those though, but it's still 32, so it's good armor. 32 deck armor, that's pretty nice as well. Standard superstructure armor, looks pretty squishy in the booty. Oh, thick booty armor. Thick booty armor, okay. How's the Citadel? Upper build 150. 220. 270. 275, sorry, and 330. So the Citadel armor is about the 275, but how layered are we talking? Whoa! Wait, whoa! Hold on, what the fuck? This isn't Citadel. What? What the fuck is that? First of all... Jesus. Holy shit. Thank you, MNCNR. But wait, this is like an effective turtleback. I think the angle is good enough for this to be an effective turtleback. But where the fuck is the Citadel? Like, this thing? This thing is the Citadel. This little shtick in the middle. What? Okay. Okay, sure. Holy shit. Wait, so... Is it Waterline? It's Waterline Citadel. It's Waterline Citadel. It's basically perfectly Waterline Citadel. Kinda, well, kinda below Waterline. I see the waves above it. It's kinda Waterline underneath Waterline. I'm sorry, Katsumoto. Thank you for the tier 279. I asked on YouTube, can I go on another vacation? And some guy was like, no! Stop it! They add dented shit every time you go. Wait, so where the fuck does it... Like, I wish I could look at the turtleback a bit better, but... It looks like... I think it gets a bit steeper towards the middle. But it still looks like a pretty goddamn effective angle on this turtleback. I don't think you can punch through this. I don't think you can punch through this. I can just turn off the music for now, so it doesn't mix. I don't think you can punch through this. It's 50mm, so no overmatch. And the layer looks really good. It's really low. Like literally, this thing itself is waterline, and then you have to get through all of this shit and into the citadel. Like, good fucking luck, man. Good fucking luck. This thing seems really difficult to get sits on. Like, really difficult. Not just do you have to punch through a shit ton of armor, you have to get through this wonky turtleback to get there. So this thing is gonna push up to you and brawl you and torp you, and there's apparently not a whole lot you can do to punish that. Also, no overmatchable nose. No overmatchable nose. Like, at least the Germans... Like, at least the Germans here have... Okay, this port is super broken right now. At least the Germans have, like, overmatchable schnozzes. Where's our Schlieferino? Like, the Germans have something overmatchable. Okay, Schlieffen has very little, just the very top of the tip. But if you go one tier lower at tier 9, whereas... do we not have it here? Oh shit, can we go equipment then? Ruprecht. Yeah, Ruprecht has a lot of overmatchable. 27 overmatchable. So this thing has 332, so completely unovermatchable. And turtleback, and then the hull and torpedoes on both sides. Jesus! That's gonna... Well, we'll see how it plays, but... That certainly does not seem like a weak combination. Holy shit. Also has shell catchers. Yeah, the casemate secondaries, and the back of the ship. The back of the ship looked quite vulnerable. Like this part looks like it's gonna catch a lot of full pens because it's got this stepped. You generally don't want this shit in world warships because shots from the back tend to hit this and full arm. They tend to full arm into the superstructure. And a lot of shell catchers here and here. Generally you want a sleek, smooth hull, like Kremlin hull. That's what you want with no superstructure, so... This will be something of a weakness, but we'll see how much of a weakness it really is, because, yeah, depends on what stats they end up giving this thing. And then we have the Tier 10 Defense, also a questionable name. That was the cruiser, the Mini Nelson cruiser that got, what was it, Duke of York guns? An absolute meme of a ship, basically. Yeah, 6 Duke of York guns, this one. Man, that is one ugly motherfucker, man. Holy shit. Holy fuck. Good lord, that is one ugly piece of shit, man. Holy. So it's a cruiser with 6 Duke of York guns. Like a mini cruiser Nelson abomination. Jesus. Very flat boot, eh? Huge waterline. Like, this is a lot of shit to shoot. Petra is like half this thing. This is a lot of broadside to shoot. Let's see what kind of armor they gave it. If it's not good with this kind of, we'll see. Well, okay. Okay, wait, what light cruiser armor? Light cruiser armor? This thing has Duke of York guns. That's 25. I'm sorry, chat is kind of blocking it. That's 25. What the okay. 40mm deck. Oh no, 30mm everything. Holy overmatch heaven. Everything on the ship can be overmatched by like 430 and bigger. Jesus, that's a lot of overmatch. And full 25mm, pretty goddamn flat booty as well. Holy shit. This thing is gonna eat a lot of shit, man. I'm just saying. Holy. The Citadel better be like non-existent. Oh shit. Oh, wait, is that right behind the... Thank you, Rick, for the 62. Yo, this Citadel is right behind an overmatchable nose. Like, this is fully overmatchable, and then this big flat target right behind it. Holy shit. From behind? Oh shit, kind of the same thing from behind. Unless it has a shit ton of hidden plates, so this thing is gonna eat sits nose in and stern in so goddamn easily. Let's get rid of some super strong. Okay. And I mean, this part can bounce, but it's a very small part of the rest of the ship. I feel like AP bombers are gonna like this thing quite a bit as well. There's a lot of target to hit here. What's the belt? 229 plus 30. 259? That's very little armor. 259 for, I mean, it's good compared to, I guess it's for cruiser, it's pretty good. 259. 259 is pretty good for a cruiser, but Citadel is massive and so much overmatchable. For cruiser, it's quite a lot actually. The problem is, my god BBs are gonna love shooting this thing. This thing is gonna be, it's so thick and big, you're gonna get full pens, a lot of full pens. But like, this is not enough to block a cruiser from smashing you. What was it, 259? 259 is, like, how many cruisers can sit 259 at, what, 12 kilometers? Let's see. 259. How many cruisers can sit that? Penetration at 12. 259. Even, wow. Okay, Zhao can. Henry can at 12. Henry can, this is at 12 kilometers. So, all of these can sit at 12. And these guys are going to be able to do it at 10. Even Nevsky is going to be able to sit, well, Nevsky is going to be able to sit it at 11, to be honest. Same with these guys. These guys are going to be able to sit at 10 pretty easily. Salem DM, probably under 10. They're going to start scoring sits. Yeah, no, this is... honestly, at 10 kilometers, basically every heavy cruiser is going to be able to sit this thing, with the exception being the lights. The exception being the lights. So... yeah, this thing is going to be a very juicy target for, I think, for everything. It's not like it's particularly HE resilient either. Big fucking superstructure to farm. Only this part is nice, the 40mm deck, but everything else is just pen, 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 pen. Yeah, we'll see. You only have 6 shells. Yeah, I wonder what kind of reload it's going to have. But 6 Duke of York shells as well. Isn't Duke of York what is Duke of York? 350 something? Or what was it, 340? It was same as KGV's, 356. Yeah, 356. So you can't, like, what do you overmatch with 356? You overmatch, what was it? Divided by 14.3. You don't even overmatch 25. You don't even overmatch light cruisers. You overmatch super lights, but you don't overmatch lights. So fucking Wooster is gonna sit nose in and laugh at you. Jesus. The HE is the big part? Sure, but you still only have 6 guns. It has a 28-second reload? Are you shitting me? Yikes. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That ship seems, I would say, very questionable. That ship seems very questionable. Did they give it the shit Duke of York HE or the good KGB HE? I don't know. Ship called Defense can't defend itself from light cruisers. Jesus. Interesting. Free ship, I assume. I assume it might be a free ship. Right, let's take a look at the super ships then. Let's look at the Super Venezia first, because I'm interested in how much of a Super Venezia it is versus how much of a Super Napoli they actually created. Where is it? Piemonte? During the 1930s, the Italian company Ansaldo presented the Soviet Union with a collection of drawings, which included a blueprint for battle cruiser with a displacement of 22,000 tons. The ship was to carry an armor of 19-inch guns and feature a 4-shaft layout with 60,000 horsepower per shaft, which would allow the ship to reach 37 knots. After outbreak of World War II, the unfinished ship would be requisitioned by the Italian government, with the battle cruiser receiving Italian armor. Okay, bro. Nice fantasy. Okay, we can look at the equipment on this. Interesting. 21-second reload, SAP and AP. No HE. 61.4k health. 13.9, 56 knots. Looks pretty standard Italian torpedoes. 17.8 km range, 37 knot base. 37 knot base. The heel, standard, and exhaust smoke. Exhaust smoke. Interesting. Lighthouse build question. Piemonte. Jesus Christ. I'm getting Roma beer can flashbacks from this superstructure, chat. Holy shit. I'm getting Roma beer can flashbacks from this thing. Jesus. That's a lot of superstructure, man. The beer funnel, right? Take the torp tubes. Gonna be fairly hard to break then. There's 12 guns. 6 plus 6. Yeah, 12 guns. Interesting. The big question, of course, is going to be, what kind of armor do you have? Okay, icebreaker, 40 millimeters, 25 millimeter upper nose, so you can be punched in the nose somewhat. 40 millimeter deck, 40 millimeter upper bell, full 16 millimeter superstructure, 25 millimeter booty as well. Citadel plating. Okay, it's layered armor. I was expecting much. Thank you, Pedalon, for the 28. 165. Okay, let's see. Whoa. What is this abomination behind here? Citadel. Okay, not Citadel. So we got a turtleback that looks punchable. It's 30 millimeters though. That's gonna be iffy for some. Depends on the angle, I guess. Depends on what kind of angle you get at the middle. Citadel is significantly above the waterline. 30 millimeters. What was outside? 165. This looks punchable. What, 200 millimeters of pen needed? Provided the turtleback doesn't look efficient enough. Why does a Mediterranean ship have an icebreaker? That's a really good question. But wasn't it built in the Soviet Union? So that's maybe how they excuse the icebreaker. 165, 30. I mean, it does look Citadel. I wonder if that's gonna last. But because like the turtleback isn't angled enough to allow bounces. It's steep enough that you're just gonna punch straight through it. So it's not gonna work as a turtleback. It's just gonna work as another layer of armor. I'm thinking this thing can absolutely be Citadel. I wonder if Wargaming will allow this to continue, because Napoli is of course infamous for being a pain in the goddamn ass to sit unless you're a BB and you get flat broadside. Honestly, I was expecting nastier, because when I first looked at this, I expected super Napoli. We'll see what kind of damage it pumps out and so forth, and what kind of firing angles it has. But this looks like a fairly big flat area to punish, and I like that. I like when ships can be punished. That's good. We'll see. We'll see. Wargaming's super ship design is so, like, all over the place. On one hand, they think Conde is a fine addition to the game. On the other hand, they also think Clausewitz is totally a tier 11 super ship compared to the Hindi. And it's like, what the fuck are you smoking? Finally, the most interesting thing, of course, Super Montana, Maine, super battleship. In this hypothetical development of the Montana-class battleships, number of 406mm guns could be increased to 16 guns! By replacing the 3-gun turrets with 4-gun ones. While 4-gun turrets were initially proposed for battleships of the North Carolina class, they were, however, equipped with 356mm guns. If the goal were to enhance the firepower of the Montana-class battleships without utilizing a larger caliber, opting for 4-gun turrets would be the most logical choice. 16 guns! Let's fucking go. Okay. Standard 35-second reload. Looks like standard Monty shells. 115k health. 24.2 km. 30.4, and this thing got better rudder shift than Monty, which is really funny. Standard HE, 36% fire chance, standard AP. Def charges, and what's the gimmick? Immediate threat elimination. Hit enemy ships with your main guns to increase your completion progress with each hit. If you're inactive, you will start losing your progress. When the progress reaches 100%, it cannot be lost. Activate combat sprint once more. Progress per main hit, time of inactivity for 50, progress lost per inactive 5. Continuous AA, 25%. Completely fucking irrelevant, sadly. But fire damage, minus 65, flooding damage, minus 65, and action time, 45. Now that's an interesting gimmick, because there's some interesting Furious builds that I could consider. Either a Furious build, or alternatively just standard tanky build, and you run the extra DCP duration, so you get this DCP up to, like, what is it, 30 seconds? You can get like 32 second DCP. You run your 32 second fire immunity, and then when you get set on fire, you pop this fucking thing, and you limit the damage it takes significantly. And then by the time it runs out, you probably have another DCP coming up. So, like, I feel like this battleship is literally designed for all those ape Hanowers that DCP a single fire and then get farmed to death in like one heal, and they die from like 100-0. They give away like 150k damage, one heal, and die because they don't understand how to DCP and they don't understand the spec fire prevention. So Wargaming literally made a super battleship designed for the most battleship of battleship players, the guys who don't spec fire prevention and the guys who don't understand to save their DCP for multiple fires. This ship is tailor-made for these people. Somehow they will fuck it up though. Trust. Somehow they will fuck it up. Enrybot, thank you for 12. Spanksbot, thank you for 42. Was there is instruction on the super? Did I miss it? Did I miss the instruction on? I'm thinking, was I dented enough to miss the instructions on the Piemonte? Equipment? Was there one? Did I miss it? No, there wasn't one. That's what I was thinking. There was no special instruction on this thing. Why does one have special instruction and the other one doesn't? Huh. Thank you, Torbjorn, for the 41. Yeah, no, this thing should be very hard to kill, provided you utilize this semi-decently. Like, this is going to be a huge reduction. Already running fire flags and fire flag reduction, and you can already get the fire damage down to something like 15% of your max health. You can ideally you can get it down to something like 12. Let's say you take it down to about 15% of your max health. Then you pop this gimmick for the duration of the fires as well. Jesus, you're gonna take what, 5%? 5% of your max health per fire. That sounds interesting. Thank you, Ender, for the 18. Holy shit. Mega Montana. Mega Montana. Holy shit. Giga Montana. God damn, that's a lot of superstructure though. It's got a lot of AA guns. Didn't this thing have actually surprising amount of flak? Didn't it get like surprising amount of flak? Obviously it's gonna be 75% accuracy because battleship, so I'm surprised if it'll hit anything. That's a lot of ass. God damn. That's a lot of ass, man. Holy shit, you can hear this coming across the map. These cheeks will be clapping, man. God damn. That's a lot of fucking ass. Jesus. Thick. That's a lot of superstructure though as well. Holy shit. It's a goddamn tower, man. Interesting. Let's see what kind of armor this thing has. Okay. Standard 32. Standard 38. Standard 38 upper belt as well. Oh, the entire boot is coated in 38. This is different though. Normally Americans only have the central deck part 38. But this thing gets the entire back part of the ship coated in 38 as well. That's an advantage. 32 booty. I mean, there's a lot of it. Lot to HE farm here. Especially if you got the pen. Okay. That's certainly different from Montana Citadel. That is certainly different from Montana Citadel. Okay, wait, let's get rid of this first. So what do we have? We had 32 followed by 432 angle. But that's a big fucking gap. That is a big fucking black hole armor gap. You're gonna arm a lot of shells that you are gonna arm before getting through this. It's sloped downwards as well. It actually becomes like Kremlin armor. You see this fucking slope? You see the fucking slope? The armor is like this. It's not a straight armor, it's like this. It's sloped as hell. The effective thickness here is gonna be a whole lot more than 432. Jesus, that's a lot of fucking angle on that thing. 170 deck. There's no anything below. Jesus, that's an absurd slope on it. How does black hole armor affect hits, generally speaking? You end up with a lot of bullshit where you shoot the full broadside ship, and then the shell arms on the outer layer and just fucking disappears. It just disappears into the ship, and you get like 0 damage for this. Like Patri has an example of layered. Patri has an example of layer armored, and it's really dented. Like Patri is a super ship designed for people who don't understand angling, so they just sail around like apes and they get away with it. It's really annoying. So it shatters or open? It shatters. You basically get internal shatters. I mean, there's one. BFK has this fucking beautiful clip on a flat broadside. Flat broadside Patri. Oh, I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it's this one. It's a beautiful clip because it really shows everything fucking stupid about super ships. It shows it in a nutshell. Here's a Vermont, big fucking American guns, full broadside Patri, like literally almost perfectly broadside. 16.8 km away.
That was decent lead, yeah.
You end up with the torpedo protection arming it, and then it shatters internally. So basically the shell just disappears, and you do fucking 0 damage. Because Wargaming, when they designed super ships, they went out of their way to make a bunch of ships for shitty players. That's why most super ships are much harder to punish than normal ships. Like, I've seen an Annapolis kill a Des Moines. The Annapolis set full broadside at 12 kilometers and farmed HE on the Des Moines. Des Moines shot AP on the broadside. But because the Annapolis has that spaced bullshit armor that the Des Moines doesn't, the shells just disappeared into the Annapolis, and he got away with it. Like, Conde has the same thing. It's got Henry's armor, but multiplied. And Patre is the same thing. It's got the dented fucking armor of the Republic, but multiplied. And even Satsuma takes Yamato's weakness of having the vulnerable cheeks and the big citadel, but they're much less vulnerable because the armor is so much thicker. So normally ships that you could be able to punish, you can't punish anymore when they become super ships. So Wargaming makes them more retard-proof. That's why, well, super ships are just a bad addition because they're the same ship but made easier to play because the players are worse. I even struggled to citadels these super ships in Slava. Yeah, I never seem to see Satsumas. No, that's exactly it, because it has that. It's got much thicker armor. It's made for idiots. Like, people who die in a Yamato giving one broadside get away with it in a Satsuma. I can sit Satsuma. Of course you can sit it. That's not the point. If you're close enough, of course you can sit it, but they made it much more forgiving. And that's the key point in most of these super ships. This thing can probably be citadel very close as well, but it's going to be a lot more forgiving. In the Montana, you give broadside, you get punished. In this thing, you're going to be able to make these dented ass dumb full broadside turns and get away with it because it's a super ship. Slava has lost a lot of its strength. Like, Slava was never that good of a ship. It was a fun ship, but a lot of its strength is gone because the reason why you played Slava was so you could citadel things. But now Wargaming keeps adding these battleships that can't be citadel. Like, if you look at Yamato's armor in return, Yamato has no gap. Montana literally just has an exposed citadel. There's no torpedo belt bulge here to protect the Montana. It's just an exposed citadel. And it doesn't have some super angled internal belt. Like, they continued this citadel straight up like this on the Maine. But Montana doesn't have that super angle, and Montana just have an exposed citadel. So this thing is going to be easily... Like, Montana gets pretty easily citadel. Mine? Not going to happen. It's going to be so much harder. It's going to be so much harder. So, I wish the super ships were more interesting instead of continually just being more retard-proof ships. That's really my... That's my key frustration. Like, Montana's is exposed here. This thing is internal, and it even has this belt to arm shells on. Like, this is so much better protected, it's not even funny. But yeah, I really wish, well, like, their super ships would be more firepower, but retaining the vulnerabilities of the classes. But instead we get more firepower and more tankiness, and usually some fucking gimmick button as well. So it's like, it's just stupid. She's lower in the water as well than Monty. Really? Actually, it is pretty low in the water, isn't it? It is actually pretty low in the water. Oh shit. I think you might be right. Let's get rid of the camp. Yeah, I think it's lower in the water. Yeah, you're right. Montana sits much higher in the water. Obviously, being lower in the water is another advantage because you're harder to hit, especially at range. And it's harder to hit your citadel, especially at range. Yeah, no shit. It actually sits significantly lower in the water than the Montana does. Oh shit. Yeah, I mean that's I rest my case. That's yeah, no, it does sit lower. It does sit lower in the water. It does sit lower in the water. Yikes. Of course it does. Key frustration with ships like mine is the fact that they get queued with tier 10. Tier 10 isn't nearly as bad as getting up tiered in a tier 9 against super ship. That's the worst shit ever. Like, and Wargaming seems to go out of their way to make sure that if you queue up in a tier 9, you end up against super ships a lot. Because they did have a poll at some point, and a lot of potatoes said that they enjoy fighting ships that are 2 tiers lower because it makes them feel stronger. They enjoy punching down 2 tiers because it makes them feel stronger when they're shitting on some poor 2 tier lower guy. So yeah, that's never gonna change. That's a permanent feature. And I mean, any hopes of plus minus 1 matchmaking is long gone because the player base, there's not enough players anymore. Whatever player base there once was to support that, it doesn't exist anymore.